There we go.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, perfect. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, Yvonne, Akwaba.
Yanya.
That is
Pachame hoye na wansa.
Adomini be coming. Adomini be coming. Yeah, that's a pansa wapa. Yeah, that's a wenya mrama. Thank you so much for making some time for us to have this conversation. We really appreciate that. Yeah.
Thank you for inviting me. I
Nice,
also
nice.
appreciate it.
Perfect. Okay. So how are you doing this morning, Yvonne?
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what was the first thing you did this morning, apart from the normal routines?
Hmm. I actually, as you can see in the background, I'm sitting in a very white room because I recently moved and I made like a design for my room.
Okay. So
I
in
was,
this case, you save all the labor that you would have paid others, and then you do it yourself, right? You do it
pardon?
yourself. You do it yourself.
Yes,
You
yes.
don't pay anybody. You don't need anybody. You don't have to go and pay anybody to come and do it for you.
No, I'm lucky. I'm a designer myself, and I have other designers around me who studied interior and who can help.
Nice, perfect. I'm jealous, Yvonne. I'm very
I
jealous.
can help you.
Uh,
Just reach
I'm
out.
yeah, I'm going to reach out. Yeah. So you said you moved. So where were you and where are you now?
I was in Düsseldorf, Western
Yeah.
Germany,
Okay.
and I moved to Bozen, Bolzano, which is South Tyrol, which is located in northern Italy.
Oh, okay. And what took you there?
I started my master in eco-social design. This is
Eco-social design. Oh, that sounds big. Yeah. But it sounds also like an emergency in this time, you know?
yes, it is really. It is also like a personal emergency, and of
Mhm.
course, emergency in the world. But I really enjoy it. It's really um, a great topic to study on.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So the semester started already?
Yes, in September, October. Yeah.
September. Okay. And now we are in November. Okay.
Hmm.
And so far, you still think it was a good idea to do it?
Yes, definitely.
Mhm.
Every day is exciting. I love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And what does it really entail? Because some of us we hear, okay, echo, what, but we really don't know what it means and what it entails. Could you maybe tell us a bit about this career path and what you're actually doing over there or studying there?
Hmm. Yeah, it's a big question. It's not easy to explain actually.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine something like a social worker, but not for the individual, but for the society. So we're thinking about eco-social utopia for our society. And yeah, my personal goal is, or I think the goal of the master to work towards a more solidary, equal society in terms of social between people, but also in terms of eco between human beings and the world and other living beings or beings in general.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. So in other words, how you're going to be more friendly to the environment and also amongst us as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect. And are you currently working on any project or projects haven't started yet?
We have a project, so every semester is connected to a project.
Okay.
And um, so, yeah, we are in groups, we are focusing on different topics.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm focusing on democratization currently and connection with interculturality. So, yeah, we're like the concept of the study course is that you can find everything that is global within a local context. And this area that we are in is also a very special area in terms of eco-social, because South Tyrol is located in nowadays Italy, but it wasn't always. So there was kind of colonization going on here. German people were Italianized in the past. So yeah, it's a really interesting environment because you really find a lot of eco-social topics here. So we're working with the association that is located in a district here and working on democratization. Yeah.
Okay, so it used to be a German territory.
Yes.
Right.
Or I'm not an expert in the history. I think it's Austrian, not German, but people speak German and Italian here. So 70% of this region speaks German, 30% Italian. I think like territory-wise, it was Austria, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, interesting. And do you feel like you are being favored because you are German over there? Is there any upper hand in being German over there?
So the capital of South Tyrol is Bozen-Bolzano. So there are always like two names, also towards cities or street names, the German and the Italian. And inside the capital, it is vice versa. So the population here is 70% Italian and 30% German. So speaking German helps, but speaking Italian is also more helpful.
Okay.
And yeah, so if I compare myself to classmates who only speak English, or like English is their language that they can use here, speaking German is helpful. Yeah.
Okay, but are the locals? How do they relate with the Germans over there, with the Italians and the Germans? Is there still some bitterness, or they've forgotten about the past and they're trying to live as one people? Or how is it like? Because I can imagine some were also born over there, probably with the German link or something like that. How is it like?
As far as I learned, it's not forgotten. There are, for example, Italian schools and German schools. Okay. And there are also, I think, when you work for the municipality, you have to speak both languages, or there has to be a percentage of German speakers, a percentage of Italian speakers. So I think there are still districts and families who raise their children German and who raise their children Italian. And there are, of course, a lot of people who are bilingual, but there's still separation here.
Okay. And does it remind you in any way of your, I don't know, your upbringing? Because your father is a Ghanaian and your mother is a German, right? Yes. And is there any link between these two communities or these two realities? What do you think?
Somehow, yes, but it's a difficult question because here I feel like it's a little bit different. I mean, what is similar is that there is a majority and a minority, and you have to find balance. But the two cultures are closer to each other than Germany and Ghana. Like in German is like they can, yeah, it's not such a big cultural difference. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so we are going to go back to where you grew up in Germany. I'm guessing maybe Düsseldorf. Maybe I'm wrong, but before we do that, I would want to know why you chose to do this studies. Why this direction? Why this ecosystem direction?
It's also a difficult question because it somehow happens step by step, and I feel like it's kind of therapy for me also to deal with my identity and to find more find out more about the world that I'm living in. And I think I only recently discovered that I want to work in this field. So when I grew up, I always was a creative person. I wanted to do arts or design. Sometimes I was thinking about architecture, but yeah, I ended up in design. And I love being creative, but the design studies guide you to work in consumption industry mostly. And when I worked there, I noticed that ethically, I don't agree to many things. And then there were other personal events that led me to thinking more about my own identity. And then I realized that, racism is structural, and that consumption has to do a lot with racism. And somehow I was reading a lot of books, and it just happened that there was like one moment when I was sitting at home and I was like, okay, I need to change my path. And I Googled. I always had in the back of my mind that I might do a master as soon as I know what I really want. Because when I graduated and got my bachelor's degree, I didn't really know what I want to like focus on, what to do my master in, because I didn't know what is my thing, kind of.
Yeah.
So during the years of working and learning more about the world, myself, reading, I figured out that I want to do something about the world, and change it towards more equality, justice, and here I am.
Very interesting. Okay, so now you're gonna rewind. Yeah, the vinyl. Chuku, 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 chuku. We take it back to Germany. Were you born in Germany, and which part of Germany were you born in?
I'm born in Mönchengladbach, which is also in North Rhine-Westphalia, North Rhine-Westphalia.
Okay, Düsseldorf area, right? Okay, okay. And would you want to tell us a bit about your family, if it's okay?
Yeah, what can I tell you? So I grew up in a small town, like you can call it a village, but like not
Siblings, your siblings, and yeah.
Pardon?
Do you have siblings also, or something like that?
Yes, I have. We are five. I have two sisters, two brothers. I'm the eldest.
Really?
I have some responsibility. And we. I grew up in like the same house like my German grandma. My parents divorced when I was 8, around that time, and
Okay. And you grew up with your grandparents, you said? Your grandparents were also there?
Yes, my grandma. Yeah.
From your mother's side or your father's side?
My mother's side, yeah.
My mother's side. Interesting. So I'm sure that she did a lot of reading, a lot of pampering, right?
I remember a lot of eating, actually. Like I remember going up after school, and she would have ice cream or pizza.
Right. Yeah, Omes and Opus are the best. Okay. And how was your kindergarten like? Yeah? Were you there with your sister or with your brother, or how was it like? And how was the environment? Were you the only Ghanaian-German or Afro-Deutsch over there?
Yes. Yeah. I think there was another family in the town that was not German, but it was also not, I think, maybe North African, but not like sub-Saharan African. And yeah, I was the only Afro-German kid in the school or in my class, at least, because of that other family.
Mhm.
Yeah, I grew up in a very German environment. Yeah, I think I didn't realize that I had like a different skin color or a different identity than the others until high school. Yeah, I
Until
was
high
not really. Yeah, I was not really a topic.
school.
Yeah.
Wow, interesting. Okay. And onto high school.
Mhm.
Beautiful. Okay. I mean, for primary school, and it was all very innocent, or it was all good. You never had any experiences that made you think otherwise, right?
Yeah, no, I think the earliest thing that I can remember is some struggle with my hair because I think my mom had difficulties to style them. She didn't really know how to take care of them. So I remember in this primary school time that, yeah, I felt like something is not right. Like I want this hairstyle that the other kids have, but I cannot do it. So we try to find a way to do it, but when I look at the pictures now, I'm like,
Yeah,
I feel embarrassed.
yeah. Was
Because,
watching
yeah, it
some
is.
tutorials online, maybe on YouTube, try to figure out how to braid a hair or something like that.
I think it was not the time for YouTube.
Yes, I had that at the back of my mind. There was no YouTube back then, right? Okay, so mommy had to do it alone. Wow,
Yeah.
I can imagine, right? I can imagine what it was also tricky for her as well. And then later you learned it yourself how to fix your hair, right?
Yes, I have like the emancipation moment was like during when I was maybe 16, 17. Like I had a friend who was German who was really like she loved African culture and also like she kind of empowered me to be more self-conscious with my hair and try to work with it naturally. So
Mhm.
yeah, when I graduated from high school, I had like an afro, like a real one. I combed it, and I had the real round one.
Nice, nice. I can imagine. Okay, and had you been to Ghana that time, or you were yet to go?
Yeah, my dad took us early. I think it was very important for us to get to know Ghana, know the family. I think I went my first time when I was like 1 year old or something, like a baby. And
Mhm.
then I remember consciously when I was around 8, and then maybe every
Hmm.
2, 3, 4 years we
Hmm.
went.
Okay. So do you remember your first, I don't know, the first impression you had when you ate, when you stepped in Ghana? Is there any memory of that?
No, it's supernatural for me. I don't have a first impression moment because I was still a kid, I think. Yeah, I don't know if I went when I was 4 or something.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I
Around the age when you became a bit more conscious, or when you were a bit grown, 8, 10, I don't know, around that time, was there any first question that popped in your head when you were aware that, okay, I'm going to Ghana, we are in Ghana, this is the airport, we are going out of the airport? Do you remember those days? Was Do you remember the first questions that popped in your head?
um no questions. No, I remember it. I always loved it. I always loved the moment when the door opens of the plane and you feel that humid air, and I love the smell. I don't know. I think it's
Same.
also gasoline, maybe in the air. I don't know, but I just love the smell of Ghana when the
Yeah.
airplane opens. And then I love sitting in the car and riding from the airport to the house because you get
Okay.
this
Were you
first.
based in Accra? Or sorry, were you based in Accra, or you had to go outside of Accra?
No, we before we were based in Hong Kong, and now we are based in Sochum. So we
Mm.
drive like 40, 45 minutes, but it's
Oh,
still Accra. Yeah.
mm. Nice.
And yeah, I just love that ride, like sitting in the car and watching the live at the streets in the
What
evening usually.
Yeah, this should have been my questions. What were the things that you saw? Yes, when you
Mm,
were in the car.
yeah. Like just like in Germany, when it's dark outside, there's not much
Mhm.
life going on the street. But in Ghana, it's just there's life. Like people who are selling things, people who are going from here to here, people in the shops. Like I also love like buying oranges in the car. Like my dad used to do it. I remember one of the first things was that he would buy oranges for us.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, just the liveliness, people, music.
Mm. Nice. Okay, and how long did you used to stay in Ghana? I mean, I guess it was holidays, or maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Oh,
Uh, no, it was beautiful because we usually stayed the whole summer vacation, which is
yes,
like 6 weeks
yes.
in Germany.
Oh, nice,
Yeah,
nice, nice,
or
nice,
4 to 6 ending, but more like I really felt that cut when I was done with school and I was not able to stay 4 to 6 weeks in Ghana because when you work, you usually don't get
nice.
that many days. Yeah. As a kid, we really could spend like a month there.
That is nice. And were you able to make some friends over there? Or how was it like? Or maybe just your cousins? Were you close to some cousins, or are you still close to some cousins? Or I don't know, any relationships over there?
Hmm. Unfortunately, I don't really have friends. I thought about it,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, it's a pity. We are like I have a lot of cousins. Yeah, we are more the younger ones. Like the siblings of my dad have older children. Um, I'm close to a few, but not all of them. Um, they're also spread in the country. Um, yeah, we spend a lot of time within the family. And I have
Mm-hmm.
siblings. My siblings were my friends.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, we played together.
Mm. And as teenagers back then, did you go anywhere? Do you remember anywhere that you loved to go in Ghana when you were, let's say, around the teenage times and all this? Was there any particular place in Accra that you loved to go, or in Ghana as a whole?
The beach.
The beach.
My parents would make fun of us because we always want to go to the beach.
Yeah. Why the beach?
Hmm. um, we don't have beach at home.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And the atmosphere at the beach is great. There's also music. I love that they play music in the
Do you
beach.
remember the particular beach you used to go? Do you remember?
Um, I remember one time and we went to Bojo Beach,
Hmm.
but nowadays we're going to Kusum mostly. I
Okay.
don't know if you know them.
Yeah, something like
You
that.
know,
I both know definitely. And the last one you said was what?
Kusum Royal.
Custom Royal. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Yeah, I have to cross check. Okay.
We don't really go to Labadi. Like I also remember Labadi, but it's super crowded and dirty sometimes. Yeah, so
And let's say high school is when you saw that with your hair, there was a bit of difference, right? And around
mm,
that time, did you also go to Ghana around that time?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, and then was there any difference, or what was the difference in reaction or reception? Did you
Mm,
notice any? I don't know how they related to you in Germany, and also how they related to you in Ghana.
mm.
Like,
Um, so I think in general, it is. I always feel like that I'm different. So in Ghana, they perceive me mostly as white European, and in Germany, they mostly perceive me as African and black. So I feel like it's always an in between. And my hair would be special here, but also special there.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember also around that time that I braided my hair the first time,
Mm-hmm.
and that was really cool. And I remember coming back to school with that new hair, and it was also, yeah,
Yeah.
like a cool thing.
Mhm. Nice, interesting. Okay, and you came back to Germany, and then you were done with high school. And afterwards, what happened after high school?
I studied in Essen, industrial design. Essen is also Düsseldorf area.
Okay.
And I think regarding hair, my identity, this during this time, I didn't really remember any special events. I was really focusing on studying, like being a designer, trying to be good at school. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. And then you studied for 3 years, right?
Yeah. Oh,
Nice.
oh, I remember one thing. I went to the US
Mhm.
for one semester abroad, and that was also a special experience.
Mm.
Yeah.
Why? And what made it special?
Because it was that moment of freedom, like you're absolutely free, your family is not around.
Mhm.
And I really enjoyed not having any pressure on me, like not anything that I have to do. Like I knew I was going to be there for one semester.
Mhm.
I saved my money. I knew that I could enjoy myself.
Mhm.
Um, and it was interesting because I thought, okay, in the US, there are going to be a lot of Afro Americans, and I'm excited how that is.
Mhm.
And I expected it much more liberal, like than it was. I thought, okay, if there are a mass of Afro Americans, like it must be like the culture must be
Mhm.
different. um, but I realized that yeah, it is a very racist environment also, and like it was the first time when people actually said, "Oh, this happened to you. This must be because your skin is dark,"
Mm.
or you go to like I don't know, a gas station, make sure to close your car, like things that I would have never thought of in Germany. Like I realized that German is a very safe place
Mhm.
uh, for me, and that I didn't have to think about these topics a lot during growing up, or maybe that it is more hidden here. I think this is what I realized afterwards, that it's more structural and not on the individual level that much. Um, but yeah, I think on my journey regarding getting to know myself, being in the US was something like a starting point somehow. Like not a starting point, but like in terms of awareness.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, so the big question: who is Yvonne now? Who is Yvonne in terms of identity and who you are and where you find yourself?
Um, First of all, I'm human.
Mhm.
um, so I find identity very, very difficult. Like people, we need to frame the world
Mhm.
to understand our world, but it's not that easy. Um, I think I'm Ghanaian-German, so I also have struggles with the terms sometimes because I think Afro-German is like a nice term, and when like a first book that I read was Farbe bekennen, Afro-German people on the like auf den Spuren ihrer Geschichte, on the traces of their history,
Oh, yeah.
and
Mhm.
I love the book, but I think I'm not like Afro-German. I'm Ghanaian-German because Africa is big and there are a lot of different cultures, communities, identities. So, yeah, I think I'm just, yeah.
And what does it mean to be Ghanaian German for you? Mm-hmm. They're
Different,
like,
different.
yeah, and how you vibe and how you relate, how you fit in this community or in Germany. What does it mean to be Afro German? To be Ghanaian German, yeah.
Hmm, nothing much actually, because it's more. I think it doesn't really like affect a lot. I mean, it's more. I think the personality of a person is
Mm-hmm.
more um, mm, like has more power than where you're where you're born or where your roots are. I think it is a gift to have to grow up with different cultures because you have a bigger mindset, maybe more tolerance. Yeah, but I wish that like in my first years of my life, it was not a topic, was not forming my identity or not consciously, and now I think I learned it, but I also want to unlearn it because yeah, I think I'm just me, yeah, personality wise, like a creative person, open person, I like being positive. Like
Mm-hmm.
I would describe myself
Yeah,
rather with those
yeah,
attributes than like
uh,
my previous groups.
perfect. And in terms of the of cultures, do you think that it was fairly balanced because your father is a Ghanaian and mother is German? Do you think that both cultures are well balanced, 50-50? Or is it more that, yeah, what would you say, you know?
Yeah. So how I grew up, it was not balanced. It was
Okay.
more uh, 80 German,
Mhm.
maybe, or even more. Because, yeah, I was only in Ghana during the holidays. I would grew up with my mother after my parents divorced.
Mhm.
But I was always looking for the connection, like the Ghanaian connection. Like I can always remember trying to like grab it somehow. Like I always felt that I was missing something. I still feel that I'm missing like part of me. I always feel like I'm somehow not complete due to not having my Ghanaian culture around me all the time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And would you love to get to know more of that part?
Yes,
Is
definitely.
okay.
I actually love to yeah live in Ghana for some time.
Mhm.
Just to for as first I want to learn how to speak Tree properly.
Oh,
I uh,
I
I
can teach
started.
you.
Thank you. I can design your room and you teach me Tree.
Yes, yes, yes. Mhm.
um, yeah, I'm going to a Tree school in Germany, but it's not enough. Like I can feel that I don't have the environment to practice,
Mm.
so I get to this environment to practice.
True,
Yeah.
true, true, true. That is very inspiring, you know, to hear that you would want to get to know more of that part of you because I think it's all Yvonne, right? Nice, nice, nice. And when you talk about Ghana and I say food, what comes to your mind?
Love.
What?
Love. I just love Ghanaian food.
Okay, so which food would you go for? One food. Food would be
One.
one equipment back up it for that.
I'm Pisia with contemporary stew.
There's some Kobe, right? There's some Kobe like that. Yeah, man. Nice, nice. Okay. Fruits.
fruits, oranges, because my dad used to buy oranges for us all
Nice.
the time. Yeah.
Okay, okay. What else? Music.
High life.
High life, really? Okay, name
Yeah.
one high life artist. Who is your favorite high life musician? No,
I don't.
no, there is no high life. Okay, the song. Which song? Which high life song?
I say the first one from my Spotify High Life playlist because that's the only one that I always read when I start, and it's
By
Ajua.
who? Ajua by who?
Can I look it up right now?
Yeah, Google. Yeah, Ajua. Is it an old song or a new one?
I think old, but
Oh,
I don't really know. It's
uh,
wait, Ajua by Alfred Benjamin Krenzel and by Sase Kufo.
and by school for I'm guessing the same weekend. So Ajua. I just
Sase
yeah, something like that. Enjoy it. So yeah. It's a beautiful song. Yes. Very beautiful song. I love High Life also. I think it was a beautiful time. It was a golden time of Ghana music, and the kind of sounds that they produce is just awesome. Yeah, and then the new crop of artists are also doing well. Yeah,
Yeah,
nice. Okay, nice. Okay, and what do you think about? This new form of Ghanaian music and the wave. Because now in Germany we're hearing a lot of Ghanaian music as well, and not just Ghana but also West Africa and the whole of Africa. What do you think? This new wave that is happening, with the Afro beats, with the Afro pops, with the highlights and all that. What do you think?
I think it's amazing.
Mm,
I love partying to Afrobeats, and I think it is very interesting that it is like it gets mainstream more and more. It's not only Africans who listen to it, but you can go to
mm,
a like club and you might hear one or two West African songs, and that's interesting.
mm.
Um, and yeah, I recently discovered the music from Burna Boy, and I think his lyrics are very powerful.
Okay.
And I think it really, yeah, I think it really helps in terms of decolonization mindset to have artists, yeah, doing
Mm,
their work like great lyrics with great vibes
mm.
is just very nice.
Nice. Nice. Perfect. Thank you so much, yeah, Yvonne. Now you told us about your future with Ghana. You see yourself living there for some time, and I'm guessing that once you are there, you would also want to connect your ecosystem and your studies also to Ghana. Or is there any link already? Do you have any connection in terms of studies, or anything that you see yourself also doing in Ghana in terms of your studies?
Hmm. I met one artist recently. His name is give me a second. Ibrahim Mahama. Do you know
Mm-hmm.
him?
And only one Ibrahim Mahama who is I don't think he's an artist though, so it has to be a different one.
Not the politician.
The politician. Okay, the one in the north, right? With the vast land of for arts. I think I know
Yes,
him. He has
Tam.
some airplanes and all that, right? Tamale. True. I do know him. Yeah.
Yes, and I thought that this was somehow like a lucky coincidence that he came to my university here in Italy to
Nice.
talk,
Wow.
and I saw it that the Ghanaian artist is coming, and was like, okay, I have to contact him.
Yeah.
And um, yeah, I feel like this might be like a first link. Like at least when I go to Ghana the next time, I know that I can go to like an artist
Mm,
place and
mm,
meet other designers, artists, like people who are working in my creative industry. And yeah, from there, I will see what's going to happen. But
that-
yeah, it was very special for me to meet like people from the creative industry from Ghana.
yes. Yes, yes, and I can tell you that there's a whole bunch of them. There are so many talented young artists now in the country. When I check out the Instagram, it's just mind blowing. A lot of females also, and I can imagine that you guys can really work together and then take it to the next level. So yeah, I'm also going to set up some connections, to make sure that things are fit. There you go. Perfect, perfect. And I don't know, apart from Ibrahim, have you followed Ghanaian art in any way? Do you have any idea what else happens over there? Any other inspiration?
I think when I go to Ghana, I see art everywhere because there are always also artists on the streets who are trying to sell pieces.
Mhm.
I always find it a little bit difficult because they see me as the European tourist who will pay a lot of money for the painting. So it's difficult.
And
But
it's not done, right? Once you get the chi and then you punch in the chi, then that is it. Case closed.
yeah, hopefully, because I think it's sometimes difficult to go beyond that.
Yeah.
To have the conversations just like artists and don't have the money between us. Yeah.
Mm, mm, mm. Interesting, interesting. Perfect, perfect. We would now want to come back to Germany also. Yeah. So, how do you see yourself in Germany in terms of a bit of your identity, or let's say your in terms of your Ghanaian culture and the Ghanaian community here, and also in Germany? How do you see yourself in the near future? Combining all of these things, the culture, the studies, yourself as Yvonne, as a human. How do you see yourself in Germany in the next years coming?
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah,
um, Pardon?
let's say in the next 3 years, no, 5 years,
Fine.
next five
Okay.
years.
Um, I want to get more connected to the African community here too. And I think it started a little bit with going to the tree class, some like drumming workshop before, and but there are so many great associations. Like I want to try to work more also with the African community here. I think that it is. I think here what is helpful is that I grew up in the super German environment and I can really understand both cultures. So I see myself as a connection. Yeah, I think this is my role, like in Germany, connecting and understanding both. Like if we want to talk about two sides, like both sides. And also I see a lot of that I grew up with a lot of perceptions about the world towards Africa that like I see myself, like I know that I have to unlearn a lot of things, and I think during my personal process I can also give something to the society. And in general, in the next 5 years, I want to, like my master's is for 2 years. So I will start working again somehow. And maybe have a family. I will see. The next 5 years are going to be interesting.
And yeah, we are looking forward to that. Yeah, we are all excited about that, and we are looking forward to the great impact you're gonna have on both continents. And we are wishing you all the best. And we are solidly behind you, your Ghanaian community, and we hope to meet us again in the near future and talk about the next happenings and events. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you so much for honoring our invitation. And Max Gut. Ja, danke schön.